everyone, welcome back to yet another political episode. So, we're gonna take a look at what Greg Foreman calls Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs land, New York City, where the woke elite basically says all people of all origins are allowed here, which by fact, yeah. But you have to come in legally, and you have to come in unarmed and we have to know you're here. We need to know your background. But the woke New York City were saying we're allowing these illegal immigrants into the city. And same deal with Chicago, same deal with Boston and Denver, Philadelphia. They're saying, come on in, open arms. You have to come somewhere instead of turning around and going home, or better yet, come in the front door, not the back door. Okay, come in legally. Okay, and basically, as a result of letting people in the country illegally, you are basically, we have tons of crimes. You'll see New York City squatters got engaged after stuffing slave victim in duffel bag. The young squatter couple accused of beating Nadia Vitals to death and stuffing her body in a duffel bag. Yep, I'm getting graphic. I'm sorry. But this is how cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs they are. And we don't know the victims, obviously. We can't just say they're immigrants, but most likely I'm innocent. Oh my gosh. You literally just literally severed her body parts, stuffed it in a bag, and scattered it across the state. Yes, there has been other stuff like that have been immigrant related. There was one individual in Nassau County who was killed, and his or her body parts were scattered across the whole county. And in result, the perpetrator was caught. It was an illegal immigrant from Venezuela. How many Venezuelan illegal immigrants do we have here? The crime rate has dropped 60 percentage points in Venezuela because all the bad guys are gone. They're now here. And we have woke mayors, Eric Adams and Brandon Johnson. They're saying, come on in and destroy the city. Do what you want. Do what you want here. Because you happen to be a person of color. You happen to speak a unique language that isn't English. Therefore, we can't arrest you. And if we do arrest you, you can be bailed out. Despite this lady and people being stabbed and killed and being handled with in the most gruesomest ways, there is no wonder why New York is trending right lately. It's trending right? Of course it's trending right. In fact, New York has made a huge swing in recent elections in 2022. You'll see, take a look at the 2022 gubernatorial race. First of all, I'm not playing mind games with you. New York is blue. Obviously, it probably voted for Kathy Hochul by 80 points. Well, over 70 points of a margin. So it's blue. I'm not saying it's going red. Obviously, it's going to stay blue. New York is going to be forever a Democrat city. It's been Democrat city since the 1800s. During the time when the Democratic Party was not so liberal, actually. It was more conservative leaning. And it was still Democrat. That was because of the German Catholic population keeping it blue. So, yeah, but other than that, look at that. Wow, look at this. There is no bright, darker red in this sort of map except for New York City. Manhattan, of course, is going to be the most liberal borough of New York and the most liberal county in the New York state. And obviously, it's kind of going to a 70% swing. But you'll have counties, the trends, like this one, it trended 15 percentage points. Nassau, Suffolk. We have Queens and Kings. This is Queens. This is Kings County. New York County is staying in a 7. I don't know what, but that's Bronx. They're swinging aggressively to the right by 17 points. Wow, that's 17% of votes from 2018 to 2022. They lost 17 percentage points, or 15, what it looks like, 15 percentage points from 26 from 2018, the last election, the last gubernatorial race. Yes, look at this. You have Staten Island, of course, very conservative district, and other areas. Of course, this is what you're going to expect. Then again, woke revolutionaries will totally say, "Oh, you're saying New York's going to go blue, no, go red. That's not going to happen. That's racist." It's not, and I agree, it's not going to happen. But I predict in 2024, it's going to happen in 2022, because what you have right now is Eric Adams. People are not happy with him. People are actually considering voting for Trump. You got more moderates. The best place, if you say, where would Trump pull the best moderates? Where would Trump get the most moderates from? It would be New York, Chicago, where Democrats, basically the mayors like Brandon Johnson and Eric Adams, they're becoming like dictators. They're coming like dictators. They change and bend the laws. Brandon Johnson of Chicago is trying to stop a ballot measure in his own city that would potentially make a recall vote. That again, Brandon Johnson's working on taking that down. That's suppression. That's what dictators do. Group of Chicagoan nonpartisan voters are looking to put a ballot measure on the ballot in Chicago that would possibly make it able that for Chicagoans to recall the current mayor. Brandon Johnson utilizing everything he can to take that down. He's trying to block that measure from stopping. Okay? We are seeing like beyond corruption. Eric Adams, not as progressive, but more stupider, obviously, because he was the one that said, "Come on in." He's the one that said this all. And he supposedly campaigned on "Let's stop crime." He only made it worse. And it looks like sadly, we don't have a swing map, but I want to kind of take a look at comparing the New York gubernatorial election to probably the presidential election of 2020. Taking a look at as you should know, a 2-year gap. Okay? 2-year gap. You'll see this is the current swing. And you're going to see 2020 United States presidential election. You're going to see that New York, I would imagine it swung to Trump because, population change. Do we have yes, as I expected, yes. You have New York City swinging to the right. Meanwhile, you have Upper New York. You have Upper New York swinging to the left. Okay? Unique, because people that are living through the corruption will realize it's corruption. But there's a lot of people that live through the corruption that are okay with it. And that's a majority of New Yorkers, because they're so brainwashed. They feel like it's a religious sort of cult like obligation that they must in every election vote blue, no matter who, even if it's the people that are hurting them. And in some way, the New York sponsored liberal media will always, and I mean always, make sure that they're voting the right way. There's a reason why Richmond County, which is Staten Island, is swaying to the left. Then again, they have the local county government, which is occupied by Republicans, to blame. they're probably looking at Republican politics and they're saying, "Oh, the left is not so bad." Look at people in New York. They're saying, "Oh yeah, the left's really bad." But of course, majority of people in those counties don't think that. It's kind of hard to think. It's kind of hard. It's kind of mind-boggling. But let's compare how New York voted. Yeah, isn't that fascinating? This was 2020. This was 2022. Like the swing, like a whole bunch of counties in upper New York swung to the right. However, you have near the Albany area, pretty liberal. Yeah, pretty liberal. They're swinging to the left. But yes, kudos to those New Yorkers who actually went out and unbiasedly voted based on how their life is going on right now. Because I'm going to vote Democrat because Trump hurts my feelings, Trump mean. That's not a legitimate reason. I'm sorry, it's not. What has Trump done for your life? Has Trump made your life better? Despite his foreign policy, despite his as you know, his choices, have you benefited under Trump? Majority of people will say yes. Over Biden, absolutely. What has Biden done for you? How are you benefiting this year? A lot of people will say, the woke activists will say, "Oh, my feelings aren't hurt anymore. We got someone that does lip service and makes us feel better." Like, that's how weak you are. You're so weak that you need to have someone sit down and basically have a session with you on how special and how entitled you are and how strong we are and how diverse you are, how special and how unique and why we need to celebrate you. No, that's breaking the glass. That's creating glass. We need to create steel. And Donald Trump, I don't agree with everything he says. I think he doesn't really think about put what he says into context and say, okay, I shouldn't really say that. They might take it the wrong way. But I have to give it to him. He knows how to make steel out of people. He knows how to make steel. He makes hurting yourself. Don't get so offended of everything he says. Oh, and like you got people from the woke media crying. Like, for instance, Joy Reid crying, upset. I mean, she's not actually crying, but you can clearly tell she's upset and triggered. That bunch of Trump is saying that once again, saying that Trump had the black people have most African Americans have embraced once again Trump's come out to defend Trump the most. And then she's making correlations saying black people comparing to criminal. She's comparing black people to criminals, and she's accusing Trump of doing that. Are you serious? So in reality, it's Joy Reid creating the Trump deranged. It's absolutely not her. It's just MSNBC. So you know what they're trying to do. You can accuse MSNBC for the brainwashing. So what's it going to look like in 2024? Well, obviously, I will tell you this. It's going to look like the same. Biden's going to carry, of course, 4 boroughs. Trump's going to get away with 1. That 1 borough is called Staten Island. In county-wise, we call that Richmond County. But we can take a look at Richmond County. Richmond County is the most moderate out of the bunch. These 4 counties are so stubborn they have to vote blue no matter what. They have to vote blue. You could have Mao Zedong run in this election or Joseph Stalin as a Democrat and they will vote for him. That's how stubborn they are. You cannot win Queens. You cannot win Kings. You cannot win Manhattan. You cannot win these counties. Bronx, same deal. You can't. So that's why I'm saying no. Yes, Trump's gaining in New York. That doesn't mean he's winning in New York. Okay, obviously, that's Staten Island. We call it Staten Island on Wikipedia. So, yes, I guess the best or more, I would say, is Staten Island safe with crime? I don't know. Most likely not, because this is a municipality type of government. I would say it's more safer in Staten Island. I think residents of Staten Island care more about the crime than they care about the Trump trials. Because most people in New York have someone that have died related to a crime issue. Look at this, 56.89% voting for what New York is calling white racist Christian Trump. Look at that. 123,000 people. Yeah, this county's more in for Trump. And in the end, 2012, Obama flipped this county compared to 2008. He had a more successful year overall in New York in 2008. But yeah, 2012 was the one county he took, Staten Island. Okay? You have Staten Island, Richmond County, voting for Al Gore in 2000. We have Bill Clinton in 1996. And take that all the way down to 1964. That's the last time. The very last time. Like, obviously, Lyndon B. Johnson swept New York because of, as you know, Barry Goldwater, who advocated the escalation in the Vietnam War. But you have, yeah, Johnson winning by 9. But yes, Richmond County, I have no doubts, will go for Trump, as this, it's usually gonna look like this. But what do you guys think? No. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, I will see you guys in the next political episode.